shadows, a candle lights the dark to a pathway that shows who we really are.
The light of our movement, our windows to the world, a family of hope, a place for every girl. I am here to remind you of a love that conquers all. You are the one that you've been waiting for. Be strong for me, I will be strong for you. We will share the light, share the light. We will share the light, share the light. When faith is failing and there are struggles to be won, remember your sisters standing as one. Beyond every boundary, we shall sing our song. This is our promise. To this world we belong. I am here to remind you of a love that conquers all. You are the one that you've been waiting for. Be strong for me, I will be strong for you. We will share the light, share the light. We will share the light, share the light. We will share the light, share the light. We will share the light, Our roots growing deeper, our vision sharp and clear. We are resilient in heart and unity. Like rays of sunshine, with arms open wide. We are here to lead, guide the world to change. We are here to remind you of the love that conquers all. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. Be strong for me, I will be strong for you. We will share the light, share the light. 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 Bagajila, yeah. Bagajila, bagajila, yeah. Little shaking on, shaking on, little shaking on. Come on, bend loose, come on, bend loose, come on, bend loose, for the world.
Starting already. Okay, good afternoon and good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us today. This is the first live, I think, sharing we're doing on the activity pack since it came out. So what we'll do is we will start with introduction to the activity pack. And for this, I would like to introduce Tammy, the Online International Experience Coordinator, to share with you what are the objectives of the pack and we go through some of the activities that we have. Over to you, Tammy.
Hi everyone, I'm Tammy, the Online International Experience Coordinator for the Asia Pacific WEX. So we are really glad to see you all here to want to know more about the pack and here to share about what you have done with the pack, or maybe you are planning to do it. So so maybe first of all, I will talk a little bit about like why this pack and why we started it. So prior to the World Conference in July, I think maybe in earlier than April, maybe March or even earlier February. So the few of us, we are all the global volunteers for WEX, and we were thinking, we were guessing whether, since the World Conference is going to be virtual, whether it's going to be live, so that more girls, especially the young girls, will have the experience about like virtual World Conference, because as we all know that usually World Conference maximum you can only send maybe 6 participants or representatives from each member organization to attend in different countries. And then I'm sure you know by now that World Conference is actually every 3 years, every triennium. And then we were, there are so many things, came to our mind, and we really wanted to make sure that we use these opportunities to actually reach out to more young girls and young women in the region, at least, to make sure that they understand more about governance, what is World Conference, how do we actually vote, how do we actually make decision on behalf of you, right? And then, so that's how we actually started working on the activity pack. And we are so grateful that we also received a lot of support from the regional committee. And I'm sure, and I really look forward to more feedback from the ground, and especially those who have already done it and people who are also doing it. If you have anything, please do let us know. And why then? So the purpose is actually we want to encourage all levels in the organization, especially the girls and young women, to learn about the governance process of WEX in the educational and fun way. We want you to have fun and learn something we are really serious and something important to you. And by engaging more girls and young women at all levels in understanding about the World Conference, there are more girls and young women who are ready and willing to play an active role in supporting their member organizations. So I know there are many girls coming from the region, like Brunei, Philippines, Nepal, Taiwan, many more. So we want you to learn something and contribute in your member organization. And this is also to empower more girls and young women to step up in the governance area. And to learn the pack, then you will be able to understand the governance process involved in WEX World Conference. Like for example, we ask you to study the not the constitution, but the proposed motion. And also, yes, then later on, maybe you will have the interest and you want to know more about the constitution and also the rules of procedures. And then we want you to enjoy and have and be brave to share your own opinion, your view, and speak up what is matter to you. Learn to work and make decisions with your team. And respect the value of democracy and appreciate the diversity within the organization by studying and trying to understand the opinions of others, like why my friend think that way and not the other way like me, while reflecting on your own opinions and how to find a balance in making decisions for the wider organization. Practice the WEX leadership mindset in making decisions for yourself and others. And of course, be inspired to engage in the decision-making process at all levels of the organization now and in the future, even just within your patrol or in your community. So I hope all this, the pack that we have ready for you will inspire to do more, and also want to learn more and speak up on behalf of yourself and also your friends. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tammy, for the introduction. I think if some of you had the chance to look at the activity pack, you would have realized how much reading needs to be done before we can even attend the World Conference, so that we are prepared to decide on what motion we want to do. Same thing in any decision-making role. There will be a lot of learnings and preparations that needs to be done. So I hope you're all ready. You've all done your readings and you're ready for the mock World Conference, which will be handled by Gwen, who was there at the World Conference herself this year. So for now, if you're ready and you have all your notes on hand, I'm going to hand over to Gwen, the core mission volunteer. Gwen, over to you.
Thank you, Dash. So before we start, just want to let you know that this mock World Conference will take place about 20 minutes, and then we are going to start now. Anjali?
Face the fears inside. I gathered up my courage and found that I could fly. I can feel it. I am free and I know the key is me. Waiting on the other side are possibilities. Colors, open hands, opportunities. Ooh.
Welcome to the first mock World Conference. I'm Gwen, your chair for the first mock World Conference 2021. In this session, we will discuss and follow with the voting on proposed motion A. Head delegates, please get ready with the login details for the voting session later. Before we progress, I would like to confirm that the procedural team and tellers have confirmed that this session is correct. There were 63 head delegates present at the opening of the session. Now the session is correct. We will soon hear from Girl Guide of Miracle Land, who is the proposer of proposed motion A, and then we will open this proposed motion A for discussion. For those who would like to speak, please use the raise hand button for permission to speak. If you are an observer, you will need clearance from your head delegate. Each of the speakers, including presenter, will have 1.5 minutes to present or speak. You will see the paper with time as 30 seconds warning. Now, let's hear from Girl Guide of Miracle Land. The floor is yours.
Hi everyone, I'm the delegates from Girl Guides of Miracle Land. The Girl Guides of Miracle Land would like to propose the World Conference recommends A, to utilize international opportunities such as World Conference to organize with youth a pre-conference event for the youth delegates, young women, especially for young women under age 30. Attending as part of the MO delegation, and this could be organized as in-person or virtual space dedicated for young women to connect, networking, and prepare for the main event to meaningfully participate in all process of the World Conference. B, to ensure young women are fully included, dedicate a prominent space in young women. For example, a role as organizer, leader, or facilitators. During plenary and thematic sessions of the World Conference. And C, the proposed motion is to be implemented for at least the next 2 World Conferences. To make sure we are working towards a girl-led global movement, this motion is critical, and I ask all of you to support this motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Girl Guide of Miracle Land. The discussion is open. You can either give a comment or ask questions. Please be mindful of the time and keep it as short as possible. If you would like to speak, please raise your hand. Please use the raise hand button. And then we will call you and then we'll give the floor to you. We haven't seen any hand in the floor. So I would like to encourage you, if you would like to ask question or comment, please use the raise hand button, and then we will give the floor to you. The floor is open. I still haven't seen any hand at the floor. So if you would like, the technical team, can you please please unmute Mandy Wu? I believe she has her hand raised. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mandy Wu from Girl Scouts of Taiwan. I want to support this motion because in the experience of Taiwan, we found the pre-event is really helpful for young women because they can learn about the main conference before it. So they know the process, the keywords, or they can read the motion and discussion with the motion together. And even more, they can put forward a new motion during their discussion. And they can also create their network with each other. So I really support this motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mandy. Thank you. Do we have more hands?
There is one more hand. Subista.
Thank you.
Well,
Subista? Yeah.
I'm Subista from Nepal Scouts. I would like to be in support of this motion as well, because as our previous delegate already mentioned, those reasons, as well as I see in the section B of the proposed motion, I see that it includes giving roles such as organizer, leader, facilitator, or panelist. So maybe a lot of young girls might be diversely involved in different kind of leadership activities, or they already might have a lot of facilitating experiences about which we can, so they can use their experiences in world conferences, in upcoming world conferences, where they might be able to facilitate or lead some segments in world conferences. So yeah, I would like to support this motion.
Thank you very much, Subista. And do we have another hand, or is it an old hand? We have Chamatia.
Yes, we are Chamatia.
Can we unmute Chamatia, let her speak? Or she need to unmute herself?
Hi everyone, I'm Chamatia from Sri Lanka Girl Guides Association, and Sri Lanka Girl Guides Association wish to support this motion, especially because we also come from the experience of the Asia Pacific Regional Conference in 2019, and we were able to witness the kind of impact the pre-event for young women created. And we believe that the same should be replicated for all regional conferences and world conference. So we definitely support this motion coming from that experience and the kind of space it would create for young women attending the World Conference to really connect, network, and also be prepared to meaningfully engage during the World Conference. So we definitely support this motion.
Thank you, Chamatia. Do we have more hands raised? Okay.
I think
yeah.
Li Jing,
Yeah.
I think Li Jing would like to talk.
Yes. Can we unmute Law Li Jing, please? Thank you.
Hello. Yes. Good afternoon. Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Now, let me just do a caveat. I'm just playing devil's advocate because this is the Mock World Conference. All right. So just to offer a different perspective. Now, I totally appreciate the fact that it is important to interest the young women in governance affairs of the World Conference, and it is really very good and very exciting to see that the young women actually want to have an interest and want to learn more. So I just want to say that one, remember that while it is good to have a pre-conference event for the young women, remember also that one of the WAC's ways of learning is to learn by observation. So there are other ways of learning, meaning that you can shadow, you can observe, and you just follow, right? Without having to have a special event being tailored specifically for the young women time. Okay, second thing is cost. Remember that if you have a pre-event, it's going to add to the cost of hosting the actual regional conference or world conference, and that might dissuade some MOs from hosting the event. It's like the Olympics, you know, you have the Olympics and then you have the Paralympics, and then after a while, people don't want to host anymore. So thank you very much.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you all for sharing your opinion, and I would like to invite the representative of Girl Guide of Miracle Land to see whether or not you have any you would like to respond to any of the comment, and then you have your 90 seconds from now. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for supporting the motions, and I also totally understand the concern and also the perspective coming from our former chair, Ms. Jeng, and but I'm sure to secure and create platform for our girls and young women is far beyond important than just looking at the cost to the host. As if there is a will, there will be a way, and money and cost is something that we can actually work on it, but opportunities and platform will not be always there. But anyway, thank you, and we will really look into it and make it workable for the future host countries. Thank you.
Thank you, Girl Guide of Miracle Land. Due to the time limit, I'm now closing the discussion, and we'll soon vote for proposed motion A. I will now read the proposed motion A, proposed by the Girl Guide of Miracle Land. This voting is open to full and associate member organizations, and requires a majority of those who have cast a vote for or against to have voted in favor for the motion to pass. I will now read proposed motion A. Yes, the World Conference recommends to utilize international opportunities such as the World Conference to organize with youth a pre-conference event for the youth delegates, young women under age 30, attending as part of the MO delegation, and this could be organized as an in-person or virtual space dedicated for young women to connect, network, and prepare for the main event to meaningfully participate in all processes of the World Conference. To ensure young women are fully included, dedicate a prominent space to young women, a role such as organizer, leader, facilitator, panelist, etc. during plenary and thematic sessions of the World Conference. And the proposed motion is to be implemented for at least the next 2 World Conferences.
Voting is now open. Head delegates, please now click on the link and follow the steps to cast your vote. Please select for, against, or abstain, and then click submit. You will have 1 minute to cast your vote. I will give you a 20-second warning. Twenty seconds. The
Jen, I
vote
think
is now
we can't hear
closed.
you. I think it needs to be louder.
Hi, Jen. So,
Gwen?
yeah, while waiting for the tellers to count the vote, yeah, perhaps you can ease the nervousness and anxietiness or whatever with a great song of yours.
Absolutely. So while the tellers are busy counting the votes and making sure that everything is above board and all the votes are correct, I don't think it will take them very long today. So I will sing a quick song that you can sing along with me. We will sing Make New Friends. So sing with me. Make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver and the other gold. A circle's round, it has no end. That's how long I want to be your friend. Are the tellers ready, Gwen?
Yes, indeed, I have the result. So I can now confirm the results of the vote on proposed motion A. Those voting for, 43. Those voting against, 2. Those abstaining, 3. This motion is now carried. Thank you very much for your participation today in the first mock World Conference 2021. We will resume the session in 30 minutes. Please be on time as we have a very packed session later. See ya. So that is the end of the mock World Conference. We hope that you enjoyed it. So this is a very short version of 2 sessions in the 37 World Conference. In the past, probably 15 to 20 minutes, you experience 2 sessions that normally take at least 180 minutes. We made the elements shorter so that you are able to get the experience similar to the 37 World Conference. For example, the discussion and voting normally won't take place in the same session. This is to allow the member organizations to discuss further in their delegations if they want to after discussion. And also, normally there's not only just one proposed motion that will be discussed in one session. in the last world, in the World Conference that just happened in 3 weeks ago, there are more than, I believe there are more than 20 proposed motion that was discussed during the week. So and also normally each presenters and speakers have 3 minutes to speak, and for each voting session, head delegates will have about 2 to 3 minutes to vote, depending on how packed the session is. So during the World Conference, there are simultaneous interpretation of 4 of the official languages of WEX, which is English, Spanish, French, and Arabic. So all the communication are also available in 4 languages. So are you curious how we know that much about how a session happened in the World Conference that just happened, like say about 3 weeks ago? This is because some of us here participated in the 37 World Conference in different capacity. I'm one of the procedural team members, and Jen is the key coordinator for the global Campfire, and help with video producing, and also the keeper of the flame. And then we also have Tammy, who just spoke to you in the early stage, who is one of the delegates in the World Conference too. So we hope that you enjoy the mock session. If you want to know more of who is playing what role, who else should be in and how many of us are supposed to be in the World Conference, this is the best document for you to read. It's not a lot, only 13 pages, and there's some picture in there that you can enjoy as well, so that you know how a who need to do what in the World Conference. So I guess that's all. If you have any question, feel free to drop it in the chat, or you can ask more questions later towards the end of the session when the Q&A is open. So I'll pass it back to Dash.
Thank you very much, Gwen. That was a very, very cool session. Now, don't we all want to go to the next World Conference? So you can think of the many different roles that there are in the World Conference and how you can be part of it. You have 3 years to plan, right? So before we go into our next session, which is actually a break, I think we have time for a few quizzes. Anjali, if you like, you can launch, it will be in the format of a poll. So we can launch a few questions for some light fun before we do some singing. Okay, the first one. How often is a World Conference? I think I gave away the answer, sorry. Oh, that was quick. Okay.
I love the numbers climb.
Yep. So I think we're at 100% for 3 years. It looks like. Who ends the poll? How does this end? Okay. So do you all see the answers? I'm gonna guess no. Oh yes. Okay. So that's 3 years. That's right. So like I said, you have 3 years to plan how you want to get yourself to the World Conference. And shall we launch the next question? Okay, I see someone's hand raised. Maybe after this question, I will come to you, Afroz Rafika. Where was the World Conference held this year? Which country did everyone go to? Uganda or Hong Kong? Or were they all in many different countries? Or was online a country this year? Let's find out if everyone got this right. We'll wait for a few more. Okay, so the answer was, it was meant to be in Uganda, but because of the pandemic, it was brought online. So the person who said Uganda is not absolutely wrong. It was meant to be there anyway. Okay, so before we launch the next question, Can someone unmute Afroz Rafika?
You can, yeah, you can unmute yourself, Afroz Rafika. I've already asked to unmute.
Afroz, just click that button in the center of your screen that says unmute.
Yes, me is Rafika. I'm from Bangladesh Girl Guides Association, the Associate Treasurer and Commissioner of Bangladesh Girl Guides Association. So today, and this is the mock program because our 37 World Conference is finished, but we want to do this mock program only to know the person who has not attended the full program World Conference. And today's proposed motion is that the MO engagement for in works and the decision making. So I want to talk to you about the decision making, that the commitment to work closely, it is very correct for the motion, and enhance our overall decision making. It is also very appreciable, and sufficient data and information help MO to understand the changes of decision is also very great deed for us. And the input of MOs greatly strengthens the unity of our movement, is also very appreciable for us. So it seems to me that the MO's engagement for decision making in World Conference, and also we are agreed with that motion, and it is also great deed for us, for the young women. Thank you very much.
Hi, Dash. Can I have a quick response to what have the previous participants to say?
Yes, please.
Yeah, thank you. So for your information, you might have already seen in the chat that we have said that the World Conference actually took place 3 weeks ago. This is mainly for everyone who is not able to participate in the World Conference, to have an experience about what a World Conference kind of look like. So I want to say that the proposed motion A that we just voted on is actually a real motion. So it's not mock, it's a real motion. It's motion number 13 in the 37th Virtual World Conference, and the motion has passed. So the World Board, and also the World Board will work on sorry to represent the World Board, but I guess the next step will be the World Board will look at this and see how do we make this motion 13 become reality. Thank you. Pass it back to Dash.
All right, thank you, Gwen. Thank you very much for sharing just now from Bangladesh, right? Okay, so next, I hope you all have your singing caps on, because after some serious discussions, we're going to have light fun by the one and only Jen Barron, VEX Global Volunteer. So I would like to invite her on stage, keeper of the flame, of course. So we'll do a song break now. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to your song break. And I'm just going to pop in the chat right now the link to the Global Campfire Songbook. So there's a PDF right there. If you click on that PDF, and if you go to page number 8, we're going to sing the song Share the Light. And on page number 8 of that booklet, you can find the words so that you can sing along with me. That would be fantastic. This song was written in 2022, by many people across the world, and I'm sure there are some people on this call who were part of the recording of Share the Light. And so I thought it would be nice to share this song and have you sing along with me today. Out of the shadows, a candle lights the dark to a pathway that shows who we really are. The light of our movements, a window to the world, a family of hope, a place for every girl. And here to remind you of a love that conquers all. You are the one that you've been waiting for. Be strong for me, I will be strong for you. We will share the light, share the light. We will share the light, share the light. When faith is fading and there are struggles to be won, remember your sisters standing as one. Beyond every boundary, we shall sing our song. This is our promise, to this world we belong. We are here to remind you of a love that conquers all. You are the one that you've been waiting for. Be strong for me, I will be strong for you. We will share the light, share the light. We will share the light, share the light. Ooh, our roots growing deeper, our vision sharp and clear. We are resilient in heart and unity, like rays of sunshine with arms open wide. We are here to lead, guide the world to change. I am here to remind you of a love that conquers all. You are the one that you've been waiting for. Be strong for me, I will be strong for you. We will share the light, share the light. 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 One more time. We will share the light, share the light. We will share the light, share the light for her world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jen. That was one of the best songs I've heard this year, I think, including pop songs. Okay, so I hope you've all lightened up a little bit after that very serious session, and then a nice little song to get you back into the mood. What we are going to be doing next is actually listening from people who've already done the activity pack. So jumping into the next session, before we jump into the next session, right, I just wanted to maybe invite Gwen again before we start the sharing. There was a question here, Gwen, about whether we could make us propose new motions after the conference starts.
I was trying to type the response and then suddenly the response is gone. We do have world board members on the call. So if I'm wrong, please correct me. And also would like to acknowledge that the chair of the World Conference of the 37 Virtual World Conference is actually also on the call. So she might know better than me. But anyway, so for as I understand, for proposed constitutional or non-constitutional motion, all these all of these have a timeline. So for the 37 Virtual World Conference, all the timelines when the member organization can submit the proposed constitutional and non-constitutional motion, they are all listed and stated in the document World Conference document 1B, rules of procedure. So in that sense, I would in that logic, I would think that no member organization can propose a new motion after the World Conference. But the next World Conference is in 2023. So please make sure that if any member organization have any proposed motions, please make sure that you send in within the timeline before the when the World Conference call for proposed motions. Yeah, hope I answered the question. Dash.
Yep, I think that's quite clear. Thank you, Gwen. All right. So next we'll have with us Subista from Nepal Scouts, who is alumni and ranger leader, to share with us her experience doing this activity pack with her troop. Over to you, Subista.
Hello everyone, I'm Subista Doju from Nepal Scouts. When we conducted the World Conference activity pack with young girls in in our MO, most of them were unaware about what kind of activities goes in World Conference, because as it was already mentioned, like 6 people from an MO goes to World Conference, and most of the people don't know what goes on there. So when we were doing the activity pack, we got to learn a lot about what happens during World Conference, about nominating the board members, and then how to about the voting process, about the motions. So even me myself, I didn't know a lot of these things, and I learned about all these things then. We also had a fun session about Compass 2030. All of the participants, they were really interactive when we discussed about the 6 themes of Compass 2032. So overall, it was a fun and also very informative event, because we also had APR board member Maya Donavasu with us. So she helped us understand it more thoroughly. So yeah, overall, a lot of Girl Guides, they were actively participating, and they look forward to participate in next World Conference. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Subista. Maybe before I let you go, I'd like to ask you, what was like one of the biggest challenges trying to understand the motion or getting through the activity pack, and how did you overcome that? I think you need to ask her, let her unmute.
Yeah, okay. One of the challenges would be, because our organization is a SAGNO organization, and technically it has always been men leading in our organizations. And even if you look right now, even the chief who we have right now is a man. So the kind of challenges that occurred during, even when we conducted the whole the activity pack, was we had it was really hard to get participation from a lot of girls. Even when we did activity pack, we still had a lot of guys in it. So it's still a bit of a challenge to get young women's involved in decision making, or even in just basic this kind of activities.
Thank you, Subista. I think that's very common to have this leadership challenge, I think, among women in all regions, maybe not just in Nepal, I think. So I think this is a common issue, and I think it's a good thing that we are doing the activity pack. So the earlier you start, the more familiarized you are going to be with the level of decision making that you will need to, what do I say, there's some amount of accountability and how much you need to learn, maybe that before you can even make a good decision for everyone. Okay, so thank you very much, Vista, for sharing that. Before I have the next speaker, I'd like to introduce them. So we have with us Shavina Shoban Babu from Girl Guides Association Malaysia. She's 13 years old, a junior girl guide. And with her is her leader, Sri Devi Ravana, who is the global leader and also coached, I think 4 of them, I think, in the team who did this activity pack. So Shavina, would you like to jump on the call now and share your experience doing this at the age of 13?
Thank you very much. Hi everyone, my name is Shavina Shoban Babu and I'm a 13-year-old girl guide from Girl Guides Association of Malaysia. Doing the World Conference Activity Pack has been a great and fun-filled experience for both my cousins and I. This activity has benefited us in many ways. My team and I had to be creative while brainstorming ideas on how to complete the given activities. We would have daily meetups through online platforms such as Zoom or Google Meet and discuss on how we would complete the next activity in the best and most creative way. Other than that, during these online meetups, we also get to spend time together doing what we love and make up for the little time that we spend together because of the constant online classes and homework. We sometimes have chats and play games once we're through with the discussion. One of our favorite activities from the pack is Activity 3, which is voting on the motions. For this activity, we had to do presentations and we were challenged with questions on the spot. This trained us to think fast despite the palpitations that we felt. It taught us how to respond fast and not to panic. It is indeed a highly recommended activity to everyone. It brought my team members closer together by supporting each other throughout the activity. We would like to thank Mia Arisa Gary and her team who made this session lively and interesting. Another favorite activity of ours is Activity 1, the World Conference. This is because this activity included one of our favorite games, which is Bingo. It is a series of questions related to the World Conference for which we had to answer on the bingo sheet, and the person who gets a bingo first is the winner. The winner of this game was my cousin Shwati. I would really like to thank my mentor, Ms. Sri Devi, who did not only make this activity fun, but also has always been there to guide us through. This activity pack, although challenging, it has benefited us greatly. We are exposed to new things such as public speaking, voting, good governance, and we learned how to work together as a team. It certainly opened our minds to think outside the box. It is encouraging that although we are only under 13, we are given a chance to learn this and it will definitely benefit us in the future. We truly believe knowledge of good governance will mold young girls like us to be more confident, vocal, and groom us to be more charismatic leaders in the future. And lastly, we would like to thank the organizers for giving us a chance to share our experience in this activity pack. Now, I would be happy to invite my team members and Mia's team members and anyone else who would like to share their experiences as well. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Shavina. That was very, very much appreciated and very comprehensive. I think you shared with us the challenges, your favorite activities. Maybe one thing we'd like to ask you would be, what motivated you in the first place to even pick up this activity pack?
Well, at first I wasn't really confident to take on it when I first read the module because the activities seemed like quite hard and I had a hard time understanding it. But using cousins, it became easier and the activity became more fun and it was very interesting to me and I had a good time doing it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharina. So I understand that it was easier to understand once there was more of you, more heads than once trying to get the thing together. Okay, that is very nice sharing that you've given us. And also we have with us Sri Devi, who is your coach, right? Leader who walked you through doing this motion. Okay. Sri, would you like to share from your perspective, maybe guiding these girls in doing the pack?
Yes, thanks, Dashni. So maybe just a quick one. First of all, I think I would say this is a great pack because being in guiding for many, many years since my brownie days, I myself have not known so much about this World Conference and all. I mean, the moment I saw the pack, I asked the girls, okay, girls, sure, you can do this, it's like, even me as a leader, I was like, okay, can we do this? This is like, if clovers, because I'm a clover leader, so I know these clovers, they can they somehow will manage to do it. But at age of the group of kids were 11 to 13, I was just wondering how these girls can, do this module. But the module was so comprehensive that it had all the information that the girls needed to learn. That means all the links were there. So I just need to ask, okay, girls, please go and open up those modules and read. But certainly they did not understand the first time they read it. Even me, all right? Even me, myself. So at that moment, I had to relate to their school, how do they relate to their voting when they are voting for their class monitor, or when their school, the teacher parent association, when they have any motions to do something for better facilities for the school. So had to do a lot of relating to their school activities in order for them to understand what is happening in World Conference. And eventually they actually understood. But I think they really enjoyed the games, like the bingo. And then another thing would be, this pack actually required them to go out of their comfort zone, contacting other teams, trying to organize things, and that naturally actually mold them, into that to become leaders of the future. All right. So they had to gain that skills in order to do this pack. So I think Mia's group, Shavina's group, all of them did a great job and they have learned a lot. And thanks to the organizers, the creators of this pack. All right. We have to thank you because it is actually a great pack. So, as I always tell these girls, nothing worth comes easy, all right? So you have to take this, you have to challenge yourself and complete this pack if you want to see a different you, all right? So basically that's what they have done, and I myself learning a lot, and thanks to all of you for that.
Thank you so much, Sri, for sharing that. It's actually really proud for me, at least, to see people as young as Shavina and your team. I think you mentioned Mia a few times, and I believe Mia is a brownie, which means she's below the age of 12. Yeah, so it's actually quite nice to have an adult break down these very big motions, very important motions that's going to impact all of us one way or another. So thank you very, very much actually for taking the time. And I hope more leaders out there can also do this to help younger girls look at the motions, try to understand them, maybe break it down and make it relatable to them, like what you've done where they do things in school, because those are things that they understand and have experienced. So this is a good example of leadership, I think, from you to your girls and your girls up to everyone else. So we have a hand up now, Tammy. I think, would this be already the Q&A session? Or do you want to add on to the current sharing session?
No, not the Q&A. Just to an extension of what Sri and Shavina have said. And I think the team is really doing a good job where they also have some information to share with us, that they have organized a session with one of the young delegates from Malaysia, and they would like to invite everybody here who is interested to actually join the session. Am I right, Sri? So yeah, so please share the information with the group so that, you know, like the young girls here who are interested also can join the session with your girls.
Thank you, Tammy. Should you want to share that in the chat, or do you want to do this live while you're on the stage? I think there's also, maybe while you're getting unmuted, there's also a question from Farhana. The question is to Shavina actually, what are some of the tips to simplify the content and readings for the younger guides? I think Shri, you can also answer this.
Yeah.
Okay, Shavina, you want to go first? Yeah.
In my opinion, if you do it in a big group of people, it'll be more simple for you to understand because everybody has their own opinions, own ideas on what the activity pack is trying to convey. So you guys get to share it together, and then you guys get to explain and talk more about it, and then you guys get to understand it more because you get different perspective from other people on what it means, what they want you to do, and what the objective of that activity is. Thank you.
Right. For the young girls, I see from my experience that at the beginning stage, they really need some guidance because there's a lot of technical terms used in the pack. So until they get that foundation a little clear, what is this whole governance is all about? Why is this important? What is this World Conference? I think the bingo will do a good job because if we can really go through that bingo part, and they can just have fun answering the questions given in the bingo, they can get the whole picture actually. By doing that, they get the whole picture. And then they'll move on to the more specific things, which is the debate and the motions and all. So at that time, when they're reading the motions, it was a bit they were unsure why do they need to discuss these things. So that's when I had to come in, like explain the importance of it, you know, what changes they would like, how is it going to impact the girl guides or the future girl guides or the future girls. So I think once that is done, they knew what to do. They knew what to do. And then I think another important thing I had to tell myself is to give space, right? So I do not want to be there all the time and then not let them grow, right? So I had to let them on their own and think, I mean, like what Shavina said, with their group members and give them the space and trust to grow. I think that is very important. If not, at the end of the day, it will be it's like we are telling them everything and they are not coming up with their own ideas. So I had to be very careful as a leader at that point, not to give them everything.
I think you've both very well demonstrated like the many learning methods or educational methods in Girl Guides. Learning in small groups and even learning by doing. So thank you so much for sharing that. I hope that answers your question, Farhana. That was to me really, really helpful to hear from both of you. Thank you again. Thank you. Okay, I think Swati has shared in the chat the activity that they'd like to invite you to join them. Suppose it says meet the World Conference delegation in your member organization. Okay. So just 1 second. Too many. Okay. So we'll move on to the next session, which is Q&A. So this will be the opportunity for you to put up your hand and ask questions about the pack or even share what you have done if you've picked up any activities in the pack so far. So I'd like to open the floor now and feel free to put up your hand or even ask questions in the chat if you're more comfortable doing that. Yeah, so I'm seeing a lot of educational methods, my path, my piece. I think when we have sessions like this and we get to talk to each other, it reminds us of why we are doing what we are doing and how real all this really is. Okay, is this a question that I see? So I'll just wait about another few seconds to see if we have any hands up. So although you're muted right now, if your hand is up, the host will unmute you or ask you to unmute. Or you can again put it in the chat if you like. You can even share what you thought about when you even just read the pack for the first time. Or if you have not read a pack and you have a question about it, feel free to put up your hand or put them in the chat. I think this will be a good opportunity to ask a question that we all can also learn from. So perhaps while waiting for, oh, there is a question here from Tamina. Oh, hi Tamina, you're already on the stage.
Hello everyone, this is Tamina from Bangladesh Girl Guide Association. I was the young delegate from my MO in 37th World Conference, and today's mock session just peeped through my mind's eye to that sweet memories of my 37th World Conference, and hearing your experience about the activity pack is very appreciating, and we are planning to do so. So I have one question or request of suggestion from who have completed the activity pack already, that if we plan to try on the activity pack, what is beneficial to us if we go in small groups or in personal development or in a large group like Zoom webinars or online sessions? What will be the more beneficial for us when we plan to do the activity pack? Real, thank you.
So Tamina is asking whether it's better to do it in small groups or in big groups. I think anyone can feel free to jump in at any time, but I think generally the rule is that it is really up to you and how you feel most comfortable. I think there will be an opportunity also where you will need more than one group. I think there's one time that Shavina mentioned about a debate. So this was done, I think, with another group who was also doing the activity pack. So there's some sharing going on over there. So you can actually choose the size of your group. And as long as there's an opportunity to learn. Ishani, you can be unmuted.
Yeah, I have a small question. In the activity pack, are we going to do like a bingo today?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Are we going to do like a bingo today?
A bingo?
Yeah, we're going to do bingo
I think I can take this. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time for a bingo, but if you're happy, if you want a bingo session, I will be happy to step in and help you. Just send me a WhatsApp and I will be happy to help your group with that.
I just wanted to know because when you said to shout bingo like when you get a bingo, because when you have to unmute to say it, right? But if it always says that the host is not allowing participants to unmute, so how do you say like bingo?
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, so you don't have to worry because we won't be playing bingo today, but it is a game that you can play as an introduction to all the happenings at World Conference. So I think Anjali in the background just now offered to help. So Ishani, feel free to reach out to her. Is there any more questions? If not, maybe we can do, wait, let me check time. Okay, so I'm going to guess and maybe just safely say that I don't see any more questions. If you have any more questions after this, but I can't think of any right now, that is fine. What we're going to do is we're going to put in the chat right now a link for you to ask questions anytime you like. Anytime along the way that you're doing the pack, you feel you have a question or you have a suggestion, just click on this link that should be coming into the chat right now, or the QR code that you see on the screen. You can scan that. Can we also drop it in the chat? Maybe somebody wants to copy that. Okay, so this is basically just a Google form. There'll also be another link for the answers. So anytime you ask a question, you can even check the answers to other questions that people have asked. So this will be an active link, and anytime that you're doing it, just feel free to use the question link, yeah? Okay, so shall we now get ready for a very interesting next session. So this will basically bring us almost to the end of this day. And I think we've had very good sharings from all the participants who have done the activity pack. We've also had Jen share her light with us today. And so before, so before we go to the next session, I'd like to introduce her. This is Robin she's the chair of Asia Pacific. Thank you. And we'd like to invite her now to give her closing speech and also maybe thank her very much for making this pack possible to be shared with all of you.
Thanks so much, Dash. Firstly, I just wanted to say a big thank you for all of you to join the call today. It's been so exciting to see the activity pack being created, but also so many of you completing it, passionately posting. I've been seeing on social media about discussing the motions, completing the different activities, and learning about World Conference and governance in WAGs, which I think is so exciting. And it's been great joining in this session with all of you today. Lots of fun. So what I firstly want to say is a big congratulations to the team who worked to create the activity pack for the AP region, and also to Tammy as leading our international experience work for the AP region, but also to all of the team who organised this session today. I think you all agree that it's been great. It's been very informative, but also fun to get the chance to come together and learn, but also participate in a bit of a mock World Conference. I guess we're coming towards the end of the session now, and I know we're running a little bit over time, so I'll keep what I was going to say short. But I think what I wanted to say was that quite often we talk about girls and young women being our future leaders. And what I want you to all think about is that each one of you who are joining this call, you as girls and young women are our leaders of today, not only our leaders of the future. Compass 2032, which just passed at the World Conference, includes that by 2032, WAGs will be a girl-led movement where every and any girl feels confident to lead and empowered to create a better world together. And I think as leaders of today, I'd like to encourage you all to think about what leadership or even governance roles you can take on in guiding or Girl Scouting or in your own community. And that might vary greatly depending on how old you are, where you live, or how you're participating at the moment. That might be a leadership role you take on in your own patrol or the way that you do activities together. It might be in your own Girl Guide or Girl Scout unit. Or it might be in governance roles itself, on the board for your state or for your national association, or even for the Asia Pacific region or for WAGs. Very excitingly, at the World Conference which just took place, there were two motions, actually a lot of motions that were passed, which were about how we see more girls and young women in power in WAGs, as we want to be this girl-led movement. And so two of those motions was that for the World Board and for regional committees, we want to elect at least 2 young women under 30. And I think this is super exciting, but it also depends on our girls and young women being willing to stand and put their hands up for these roles. And so I would encourage all of you, maybe not now if you're younger, but definitely in the future. And there definitely are young women here who fit that age range. As you can see, Grace just posted into the chat, young women who are 16 to 30 years old, to think about, is this something I want to do, whether now or in the future? And think about what that might look like for you. I think sometimes governance roles sound very scary. And the research that the Young Women's research team did around girls and young women and the barriers that prevent us from applying for governance roles told us that one of those factors was around imposter syndrome, that girls and young women feel like, I'm not good enough, there are other people that will be better than me. I don't have all of the skills. And I must say that even myself, I had that hesitation, but it was only because I had support from mentors that I have, from other people that I admired in guiding, people within my own association that put me forward and said, no, Bron, you can do this, and people that supported me in this role. And so I'd like all of you to think about yourself. We would love to have more girls and young women. I can see in the chat lots of information going in there standing for these roles. Putting yourself out and nominating for these kinds of things is a bit of a scary process. You're saying, I want to do this thing, but people have the opportunity to vote and maybe I won't be successful. But that's something which I think even the process of putting yourself forward is an amazing learning experience. And I'm sure Chamathia, others who are on this call who've also held these roles as well would say that, whether you are successful or not, it's an amazing experience going through that process. And even in the World Conference activity pack, you saw how you apply and what you need to do and put the information about yourself. The experience to connect with others and to be a leader in that space is an amazing opportunity where you learn so much. So I guess that's my message for today. Think about what kind of leadership roles you can take up, whether now or in the future. And I hope that participating in this World Conference activity pack inspired you to think about governance and what that might look like for you in your future. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much, Bron. That was very, very inspiring coming from you, especially as talking about imposter syndrome. Sorry? Okay. So a big thank you to you for coming here and giving us a very nice, inspiring speech again. Now we'll hand over to Ho Yi Ming, who is a WAX Global Volunteer, to wrap up this evening with all of you. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today, for participating in our voting session just now. And if you have already been doing or have already done the activity pack, we hope that you have learned something from it. And if you have not, we would like to encourage you to do this pack, and we hope that you will learn a lot from this pack. And then we would also like to share the link again. If you have any question while doing this pack, even after this session, and anytime you would like, you can ask us question and our team will get back to you. But do allow us a few days to answer your question. Can we share the link again so that those who have not copied the link, they can copy down the links for the question? Or you can actually get the link from the chat as Grace has posted. Okay. I think that's the end of our session. Please don't leave yet, as we will have a group photo. And for those who have enabled your chat, please disable them. And yeah, that's all for today. Thank you very much.
If you guys would not like to be on camera, please turn off your camera. If you guys are okay with it, leave your camera on and we'll be taking a group picture. Thank you.
You need to off the spotlight.
Hey everyone, I'm gonna take it now. So 1, 2, 3, small. We're gonna hold it for a while because there are 3 pages of everybody. We have 2 more to go. Give me a second. Okay, second row now. Small. Okay, last row. Okay, last one. Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening and sharing all your thoughts with us. I think now we have a really nice little song in the background that will go on.
Oh, yeah, 1 second, guys. Just give me a second, guys, while I'm share screen.
So I think what they'll be playing for you is the world song in 4 languages. You are welcome to stay and listen to this version of the song. I think this was also played at the World Conference.
Thank you everyone for attending. I really hope you guys enjoyed the song. And I hope you guys have a lovely weekend.
Thank you and good evening and goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Hi, Chamatya. Oh yeah, I need to give everyone the ability to unmute themselves. So sorry.
Hi. Oh my gosh, well done, you all. It was
Hi.
so good.
Thank
I think
you.